Welcome back to another episode of RTN News. I'm Tyler Mulvey.
And I'm Katie Bavoso. A New York police officer is on trial for allegedly conspiring to commit cannibalism. 28-year-old Gilberto Valle was in court this past Tuesday for his arrest in late October after his wife, Kathleen Mangan, alerted the police of Valle's disturbing online chats about his fetish to kidnap, cook, and eat a woman. Valle was suspended without pay from the police force following the arrest. Mangan testified as the first witness against her husband during Tuesday's trial. Investigators found files and chat rooms in which Valle discussed his plan in serious detail, as well as the names of women he was targeting, all of whom Valle knew. However, Valle's lawyer says that even though these fantasies are shocking, they were still nothing more than fantasies he made the poor choice of discussing on the internet. The trial is scheduled to continue Tuesday morning.
Apple is settling a lawsuit filed by parents concerning kids' access to in-game purchases. The class action lawsuit came after 2011, when parents complained that their children were purchasing free games from the App Store and then buying extras in the game that charged money to the user's account. Parents were unaware of these purchases and received hefty bills afterwards. Apple is now offering $5 gift cards to parents in the United States whose children made in-app purchases without their knowledge. The computer company will also offer larger gift card credits or cash refunds to those who can show that their bills were larger than $5. Apple addressed this problem in 2011 by making it so that the user has to re-enter their account number before being able to purchase an in-app game. But parents are still complaining that their children are able to rack up game bills regardless.
An Illinois father is calling for his son's school to change their dress code after Danielle McIntyre's son was told on Monday to turn his Marine shirt inside out or be suspended by an 8th grade teacher. He took action immediately and went to school officials and demanded that the dress code be altered to allow military supporting clothing. Genoa Kingston Middle School Superintendent Joe Burgess was never informed by the teacher of the incident and is disheartened because he says his school has always supported the U.S. forces, and had he known of the situation, he would have corrected it and allowed McIntyre's son to continue wearing the shirt. Military supporting garments are also not included as prohibited in the school's dress code. McIntyre says his son has worn the shirt to school many times before and has never had a problem. He believes that due to the recent school shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School, the teacher was more sensitive to the interlocking Marine rifles on the shirt.
The search for a distressed boat is being suspended. The U.S. Coast Guard has ruled a Mayday call they received Sunday afternoon on a possible hoax on Tuesday after days of searching off the San Francisco, California coast. The call reportedly came from a 29-foot sailboat with 4 passengers on board, 2 of which were parents and the other 2 children, both under the age of 8. A Coast Guard representative says the incident is not being investigated directly as a hoax, but that they are pursuing every avenue. This event comes shortly after a hoax was conducted the past June about a distressed boat off the coast of New Jersey, in which the Coast Guard is still offering a $3,000 reward to anyone with information on the perpetrator. Hoaxes such as these are punishable by a fine of $250,000, as well as up to 10 years in prison. It's just like calling 911 and making a fake claim and wasting the police officer's time and taking them away from something of value.
Exactly.
And they could be saving someone's life. They have to deal with these, pranksters.
And the amount of money that's spent with the amount of fuel, the amount of time and pay that has to go out to the Coast Guard members that are doing this, it's thousands of dollars. And that also, which wasn't included in the story, that also is something that the perpetrator could be forced to reimburse. So on top of $250,000, don't do that.
Did you get a chance to watch the Oscars? Let's go to Ashley Forrest to hear a little bit more about them.
The 85th Annual Academy Awards happened this past Sunday, and records show that this was the largest Oscar audience in 3 years, ranking in 40.3 billion viewers. This increase was probably due to Funny Man host Seth MacFarlane, who performed many random show tunes throughout the night. Amy Adams, Jen Gardner, and Jennifer Lawrence were among many who were deemed best dressed. While J-Law looked angelic, she was anything but graceful when she tripped over her gown walking up the stage. One Oscar celeb who made a surprise appearance was First Lady Michelle Obama. She was she has been receiving criticism lately for the amount of appearances she's been doing. Some include iCarly, Sesame Street, Good Morning America. Some think her overexposure is a result of her seeking her own fame. However, she could just be trying to raise awareness for her Let's Move campaign, which promotes a healthier lifestyle for kids. The Bachelor Sean Lowe narrows his choice down from 26 potential wives to just 2. This past Monday, Sean went to individual dates with the remaining 3 ladies, Lindsay, Catherine, and Ashley. The episode took place in the beautiful south of Thailand, where Sean ultimately sent home Ashley. Quote, "I know how special she is and how much she brings to the table," unquote. It seems she wasn't bringing enough. Ashley left in a hurry without saying goodbye to Sean or the remaining girls. Find out who he chooses on Monday, March 11th. Kate Gosselin from John and Kate Plus 8 and Kendra Wilkinson, former Playboy bunny, starred on Celebrity Wife Swap Tuesday night. It was a challenge for both mothers because they were completely out of their comfort zone. Kendra was a bit overwhelmed with taking care of 8 children, while Kate had so much free time on her hands with only just 1 child to look after. Following the frustrating swap, Kendra appreciated the motherly advice Kate had to offer, saying they both got really close and in-depth. The King of Pop's oldest son, Prince Michael Jackson, certainly seems to have royal privileges. While most 16-year-olds work at a low-income part-time job, Prince Michael Jackson snagged a gig working as an on-air correspondent for Entertainment Tonight. His first duty on the job was to interview the director and movie actors of the upcoming movie Oz the Great and Powerful. Prince has ambitious goals, not unlike his father. He hopes to one day produce, direct, screenwrite, and act. Hey, nothing's impossible for the son of a king. Can you guys imagine doing what we're doing right now at 16?
Is it bad that I kind of really resent Prince Michael Jackson right now?
I do
feeling
too.
the same thing.
I'm
like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
16.
That's only because
crazy.
your dad's Michael Jackson.
I know.
Is that mean to say?
All right,
I'm
Silas.
kind of upset.
We're working hard for our job. It's okay.
I know.
We'll
He's
get
on
there.
Entertainment Tonight.
We're going to let Tyler cool off.
Hopefully he's good at least.
Thanks, Ashley. A teenage boy is being charged with killing 3 students at an Ohio high school. 18-year-old TJ Lane pled guilty to aggravated murder charges in court on Tuesday as part of a deal with prosecutors in order to avoid the death penalty specifications from the charges brought against him. On February 27, 2012, Lane walked into his alternative high school, Chardon High School, with a .22 caliber pistol and a knife and opened fire on a group of students. The 10 shots fired killed 3 students and injured several more. Although it has been determined that Lane suffers from hallucinations, psychosis, and fantasies, he has been deemed mentally competent. He faces a maximum sentence of life in prison without parole.
Cuban president stepping down. In 2018, Cuban President Raul Castro said Sunday that in 2018 he plans to step down after his second term ends. Quote, "I would like to make this clear. This will be my last term," unquote. He says during a nationally televised speech at the end of a session at the country's National Assembly. Miguel Diaz-Canel Bermudez, 52 years old, was elevated to vice president, putting him next in line to succeed Castro. In 2018, Castro will be 86 years old.
Peru gang targets people stuck in traffic. A group of thieves have stolen more than $46,000 since mid-January. The thieves rob people caught in traffic in the capital city of Peru, Lima. A police officer told America TV, quote, they would break the car's windows and try to get in like that, or they would unlock the doors and attack their victims, unquote. After weeks of surveillance, police caught 4 of the men and are still looking for 4 more. They're being charged with armed robbery, illegal possession of a firearm, and conspiracy to commit a crime.
19 tourists killed in Egypt. Tourists from Hong Kong, Japan, Britain, France, and Hungary are all victims of a fatal hot air balloon crash. The deadliest hot air balloon accident in the world in the last 20 years was caused by a gas explosion. The balloon fell almost 1,000 feet. Governor Izzat Saad of Luxor province banned all hot air balloon flights until further notice. EGY News said that the Egyptian government spokesman announced that the cabinet will form a committee from the Ministry of Civil Aviation to investigate Tuesday's accident. You know, I'm not really too keen on heights as to start with. And then hearing this story, it doesn't make me want to go hop in a hot air balloon and go take a ride.
Things like this, you hear more bad stories than good stories, unfortunately, because it's what we're drawn to.
I don't know about that. I think a lot of hot air balloons are fairly successful.
I still think I'll give it a try.
But having this at the top of my mind, it'll definitely pop in next time I go to take a hot air balloon ride, which consequently
will be
really
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Well, stay tuned because we will be right back to see what's going on around our own campus.
Welcome back to RTN News. Now let's hear from Aris Theophanopoulos on what's going on around campus.
Thanks, guys. Are you interested in becoming a peer mentor for the 2013-2014 school year? The Dr. Flack Student Mentoring Program is currently recruiting peer mentors. Serving as a peer mentor is a great leadership opportunity and a very rewarding experience. In order to be eligible, you must have a minimum GPA of 2.5 and have no outstanding sanctions or judicial violations within the past year. If you are interested, attend one of the information sessions on Monday, March 4th at 5:30 in the Student Center, room 128, or on Thursday, March 7th at 3 p.m., also in the Student Center in room 129. For more information about mentoring program, please visit rowan.edu/student-mentoring. The marketing department at the Rowan College of Business is offering 2 courses in London. They are open to all junior and senior business majors. Students who are interested in these courses must complete Principles of Marketing prior to the trip. The planned visits include Westminster Abbey, Buckingham Palace, the British Museum, and Victoria and Albert Museum. The program also includes a weekend trip to Oxford and Cambridge, a show at the National Theatre, and a visit to a British company. An optional 2-night weekend trip to Paris is also planned. The program cost is $2,675, including housing, airport pickup and drop-off, orientation, double-decker bus tour to River Thames River, museum site visit fees, 24-hour emergency assistance, and health insurance. Scholarships are available. For an application, contact Laura Kaler at KAHLER@rowan.edu. The Equestrian Club is in need of photographers. This semester is going to be quite intense for the club. They are doing a variety of events, including Back to the Borough, numerous horse shows, and volunteering. They are in search of someone who will join their squad and take a few pictures for their website. You don't even need to have a fancy camera. Any picture enthusiasts are encouraged to stop by one of the meetings or contact rowanequestrian@gmail.com. Do you have an important interview coming up? Do you have a suit to wear for the interview? Can you even have the cash to buy the suit? If the answer to these questions are yes, then you need to check out Suit Our Students. Suit Our Students is a suit rental service that the Career Management Center offers for Rowan University students. Students can rent a professional suit to wear to an interview. Presentation is important when it comes to a successful interview, and it includes wearing professional attire, because you only get one chance to make a first impression. For more information, contact Britt at rowan.edu, BRITT@rowan.edu. Do you know a senior worthy of a medallion award? Nominees must be seniors who will be graduating on May 2013 or who have graduated on August 2012 or December 2012. Nominations will be accepted from faculty, students, staff, or university organizations. We encourage you to honor worthy individuals by writing a letter of nomination for them for one of the 3 awards. The Thomas E. Robinson Leadership Award sponsors an individual with outstanding leadership to the student body and the university community. The Robert D. Bohl Humanitarian Award sponsors an individual whose lifestyle and activities display compassion and concern for the well-being of others at Rowan. And finally, the James M. Lynch Jr. Courage and Adversity Award sponsors an individual who has overcome circumstances of extreme hardship to achieve an education. For questions and a nomination form, please email Claudia Cuddy at cuddy@rowan.edu. So guys, do you know any worthy seniors of getting an award?
I'm a senior. You guys can decide if I'm worthy for that or not.
Unfortunately, no. I don't know any worthy seniors. No, I'm just kidding. There's so many worthy seniors. There's a lot of very worthy people that go to the school, and
very true.
I haven't nominated anyone, but there's a lot of people that I could nominate.
Thinking about it.
Definitely.
Now that I know about this, it's something I really want to do.
Maybe you should nominate yourself.
Nominate myself?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to get all egotistical about that. I also think being able to rent a suit is a great idea in one of your previous stories.
Yeah,
I really
would
am
do
happy
that.
that they're doing that. I don't need a suit, but if they were
I don't know
doing
if you guys
rent
have
it,
seen this jacket, but I do not need to rent one right now.
Fresh.
well, for everybody else that does, check out that site.
Must have.
Thanks so much, Eris.
Thank you.
Robbers steal $50 million in diamonds. Thieves dressed up like police officers and headed to Belgium airport. They threatened police at gunpoint, and the team of 8 took minutes to steal the jewels from a plane's cargo hold. Airport spokesman Jan van der Kruijs said, quote, "This was a very precise, almost military organized and well-executed robbery. We are in an airport that is, as all international airports are, subject to very strict aviation security and safety regulations," unquote.
Horse meat in meatballs. The Czech State Veterinarian Administration found horse meat in 1 kilogram packs of Krottenbuller frozen meatballs produced in Sweden. Authorities discovered horse meat in meatballs being produced by IKEA and being advertised as beef and pork. The chain pulled 1,675 pounds of meatballs. Stores in the United States are unaffected, and IKEA said in a statement, quote, "We are now initiating further tests on the same production batch in which the Czech Republic authorities found indications of horse meat," end quote.
On Monday, February 25th, the Archdiocese of Philadelphia announced that the Vatican chose the City of Brotherly Love to serve as the host of the 8th World Meeting of Families in 2015. The event, held every 3 years, will take place in September 2015 and is expected to draw thousands of people from around the world. At the announcement, Archbishop Charles Chaput said that Philadelphia, home to 1.5 million Catholics, needed, quote, "healing and renewal," unquote. Pope Benedict XVI, made the decision to hold the World Meeting of Families in Philadelphia before announcing his plan to step down from his position.
On Tuesday, February 26th, Governor Chris Christie signed a bill into law that makes internet gambling legal in New Jersey. Players can now bet on online games offered by any of the casinos in Atlantic City. Christie vetoed a previous bill regarding online gambling, but agreed to this version after the state legislature altered the bill to address his objections, which included adding a 10-year trial period. New Jersey joins Delaware and Nevada as the only 3 states that currently allow internet gambling for money. However, it may take up to 12 months for the new system to go into effect. As someone who recently attended Atlantic City and stayed at Revel, I now own...
Oh, that's right. You did that.
I now own a Revel silver gambling card with my name on it.
You feel like a grown-up, don't you?
No, I feel like in debt grown-up.
That too.
And now for health, let's go to Vicki Trench for how to stay healthy.
Thanks, Tyler. Longtime Surgeon General Dr. C. Everett Koop has passed away at the age of 96. Despite the nearly 25 years that have passed since Koop's service, for years he has been regarded by many as the nation's doctor. Having served for 8 years during the Reagan administration, Koop was well known for his work around HIV and AIDS, as well as tobacco and efforts toward a smoke-free society. A pioneer in the field of pediatric surgery, Koop was also Surgeon-in-Chief for more than 30 years at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Koop is author of more than 200 articles and books, and the recipient of various awards. Known for wearing bow ties, suspenders, and having a clipped beard, he has left a legacy that will not be soon forgotten. A new SARS-like virus that has sickened 12 people and killed 6 more could be on its way to the U.S. First cases of the novel coronavirus, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, were reported in Amman, Jordan in April. Cases have also been reported in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, but even more recently in the United Kingdom. The virus has a range of effects, including potential pneumonia and kidney failure, as seen in the UK. Fortunately, the virus is very difficult to acquire, according to Vanderbilt University Medical Center's Dr. William Schaffner, and there is no evidence that the virus is easily spread. The CDC is working closely with the World Health Organization and other international partners. State health officials have issued a cease and desist order prohibiting Village Fertility Pharmacy from making sterile, compounded drugs, pending a state and federal investigation. Lab results are expected by the end of this week on fertility drugs that were recalled after an unknown substance was discovered floating in a vial of medication. Village Fertility Pharmacy announced Sunday that it had recalled several compounded medications shipped over the past 3 months after the contamination discovery. The recalled drugs had been shipped to 2,100 patients in 39 states, according to company spokesman David Ball. The company immediately quarantined all medications and notified state health officials. Pesticides in produce and drinking water may be playing a role in the increasing prevalence of food allergies, according to a new study. Researchers have acknowledged that adults can now develop food allergies even after childhood, and that these allergies are on the rise. Medical researchers are still unsure of what influences this development, but this study suggests that there could be some link to new food allergies and having been exposed to dichlorophenols, pesticides used to chlorinate tap water and keep pests off of produce. The study, published Monday in medical journals, doesn't confirm that pesticides necessarily cause allergies, but it does indicate possible association. And the number of young children who are obese and extremely obese is going down. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, in what researchers say is the first national study on possible childhood obesity decline, scientists analyzed data from more than 27 million children from low-income families between the ages of 2 and 4 in 30 states and the District of Columbia. It's hard to believe, but more than 1 in 10 toddlers in this country are obese, according to this report. Obesity increases risk for heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers in adulthood. So while the prevalence of childhood obesity is still too high, previous research has shown that childhood obesity often tracks into adolescent obesity. So experts say it's important that the upward trends have turned around. So that's great, actually, that obesity is going down. How do you guys feel about that?
I think obesity is an epidemic that we don't look at it enough as a serious problem in this nation. And
Absolutely.
To see that it's going down is definitely bueno.
I think, especially since we're considered one of the top 3 heaviest nations in the
Nations.
world,
Yeah.
that's really good news to know that we're getting healthier. It's just great for people in general to keep that
Absolutely.
under control. Thanks very much, Vicki.
Thanks, guys.
Backup quarterback Alex Smith finds a new home. Find out where he's going when we come back with sports. Welcome back. Let's go to Rob Marshall to see what's going on in the world of sports.
Rowan's women's indoor track team wins the NJAC championship. It is the Prof's first conference championship in women's indoor track. Rowan won the 4x200 and the 4x400 meter relays. Shalay Williams won the 200 meters and set a school record with a time of 25.83 seconds. Brianna Crofton and Melly Ross Searcy finished first in the 400 and 800 meters respectively. Vanessa Wright won the 1 mile and 3,000 meters. Megan Boers won the 5,000 meters, and Jamie Thompson won the 60-meter hurdles. Stephen Curry scores 54 points in a loss. The Golden State Warriors entered Madison Square Garden Wednesday night to take on the New York Knicks. Curry, who played all 48 minutes, scored an NBA season high of 54 points, 33 coming from three-point shots. Curry finished 1 three-pointer shy of the NBA record. Curry's performance passed Kevin Durant's previous NBA season high of 52, but was not enough in the 109-105 loss. The Kansas City Chiefs continue to rebuild. The Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers agreed to a deal that will send quarterback Alex Smith to the Chiefs for 2 draft picks. The 49ers will receive a second-round pick in this year's draft and a conditional pick in 2014. The trade cannot be completed until March 12th. Last season, the Chiefs had Matt Castle and Brady Quinn at quarterback, but looked to Smith to be the starter next season. Simone Gagne returns to Philadelphia. The Flyers acquired Gagne in a trade with the Los Angeles Kings on Tuesday. The Kings received a 4th-round pick. Gagne is in his 13th professional season and spent his first 10 with Philadelphia. Gagne arrived in Philadelphia Wednesday in time to play the Washington Capitals. Gagne was welcomed back with a loud ovation and scored a goal in the 4-1 victory. The World Baseball Classic is here. For the 3rd time in its existence, 16 countries will compete for the title of World Champion. The tournament will occur from March 2nd to March 19th, with the first round taking place in Japan, Puerto Rico, Taiwan, and Phoenix, Arizona. The World Baseball Classic is a tournament sanctioned by the International Baseball Federation and created by the MLB, the MLBPA, and other professional leagues. Japan is defending champion, winning in both 2006 and 2008. I'm not sure about you guys, but I love the idea of the World Baseball Classic and that it's already here.
It's weird. It happens every 3 years, so you think it would be really hyped up, almost like the Olympics, but I've never really watched it.
There's not that much advertising for it.
There's not much advertising. It's only on a few channels, and it's every 4 years now. They changed that back in 2009.
Oh.
So there's more gap, but it's more entertaining whenever it comes along, just like the Olympics.
Yeah, I wish that, it got more excitement and more hype for it.
Well, now that Rob told us,
yeah, now
we will know to watch it. Thanks so much, Rob.
You're welcome.
A natural gas leak resulted in an explosion in a Gloucester County borough house on Saturday afternoon at 3:45, injuring 2 tenants. The house, located on 101 Whitehorse Pike, was divided into 5 apartments. One tenant reported she smelled a natural gas odor for 4 hours before the explosion, but did not mention it to anyone. The explosion caused one of the tenants, Raquel Nunn, to be hospitalized, with burns covering half her body. Local nonprofit Haddon Heights Good Neighbors is collecting donations to help the 2 people injured, as well as the other victims who lost their home in the explosion.
On Monday, February 25th, police arrested a man accused of robbing homes in areas affected by Hurricane Sandy. A Tom Rivers resident arrived home at 10:45 p.m., spotted a strange car parked in his driveway. He entered the house to find that the intruder had fled through the back door. The victim called the police with a description of the intruder's vehicle, and they located the car on Drums Point Road. Police arrested the driver, 22-year-old Robert Kovakis, who faces charges of burglary, theft, and criminal mischief. Police connected this robbery to approximately 12 other recent robberies in the area.
On February 22nd, Gloucester Township Police arrested a man accused of selling cocaine out of his house after executing a warrant to search the home of Abdullah Williams on West Collins Court. Members of the department's Special Investigations Unit found more than 5 ounces of cocaine in addition to marijuana and drug packing materials. The arrest is the result of a police investigation that targeted drug sales in the area throughout January and February. The 40-year-old Williams faces charges of distribution of a controlled substance, distribution within 500 feet of a park, and possession of drug paraphernalia.
Elon Musk, founder of the incredible electric car manufacturer Tesla Motors, is disappointed with an article in the New York Times that has caused a devaluation of the company. The automotive reporter John Broder wrote the supercharged vehicle just ran out of juice on a test drive. The response to the article was a cancellation of hundreds of orders that could cost the company upwards of $10 million. Data recovered from the vehicle by the company is reported to not correlate with the data that Broder used for his article, and Musk had this to say, quote, "I don't even think he necessarily should be fired, but I do think he fudged an article," end quote. You know what? A lot of people that work for newspapers did this challenge, and even people that didn't work for the newspaper tried this challenge after this was reported, and they made it fine. Which shows that this guy blatantly, he says he wasn't a liar, but...
It's upsetting, I think. Maybe, you never know, he may have just gotten a dud car. That could happen sometimes. It could just be that one car, but if everybody else was saying that they had made it fine, I don't think people should be looking at just one article.
Well, I mean, they did say, though, that he fudged the data.
That too.
Which is a little fishy. So.
I mean, I was trying to not just like
totally
throw him under the bus. I was looking
or
for other
Tesla
scenarios.
Car, no pun intended.
Haha. Anyway, thanks for watching RTN News. I'm Katie Bavoso.
And I'm Tyler Mulvey. We'll see you next week.